Uplifting quotes about change. Change, like healing, takes time. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? Things change and friends leave. Life doesn't stop for anybody. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Change will not come if we wait for some other person, or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. The world as we have created is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. To change one's life, first, start immediately. Second, do it flamboyantly. Third, no exceptions. Yesterday I was clever, so I want to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. I don't need a friend who changes when I change and who notes when I note. My shadow does that much better. Nothing is so painful to the human mind as a great and sudden change. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Incredible change happens in your life when you decide to take control of what you do have power over instead of craving control over what you don't. I have accepted fear as a part of life, specifically the fear of change. I have gone ahead despite the pounding in the heart that says, turn back. We are not trapped or locked up in these bones. No, we are free to change, and love changes us. And if we can love one another, we can break open the sky. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Taking a new step, uttering a new word, is what people fear most. You are always you, and that don't change, and you're always changing, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is how change happens. One gesture, one person, one moment at a time. Some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. Certain things, they should stay the way they are. You ought to be able to stick them in one of those big glass cases and just leave them alone. Believe something and the universe is on its way to being changed. Because you've changed by believing. Once you've changed, other things start to follow. Isn't that the way it works? Maturity is when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes. Fashion changes, but style endures. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. You cannot change what you are, only what you do. Faced with the choice between changing one's mind and proving that there is no need to do so, almost everyone gets busy on the proof. Time takes it all, whether you want it to or not. No matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always change, become a better version of yourself. The philosophers have only interpreted the word in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. I find the best way to love someone is not to change them, but instead help them reveal the greatest version of themselves. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Every woman that finally figures out her worth has picked up her suitcases of pride and boarded a flight to freedom, which landed in the Valley of Change. Anger, resentment, and jealousy doesn't change the heart of others. It only changes yours. If you are in a bad situation, don't worry, it will change. If you are in a good situation, don't worry, it will change. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. When people are ready to, they change. They never do it before then, and sometimes they die before they get around to it. You can't make them change if they don't want to. Just like when they do want to, you can stop them. No one can tell what goes on in between the person you were and the person you become. No one can chart that blue and lonely section of hell. There are no maps of the change. You just come out the other side. Or you don't. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Desperation is the raw material of drastic change. Only those who can leave behind everything they have ever believed in can hope to escape. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I give you this to take with you. Nothing remains as it was. If you know this, you can begin again with pure joy in the uprooting. A bend in the road is not the end of the road, unless you fail to make the turn. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. Change may not always bring growth, but there is no growth without change. True life is lived when tiny changes occur. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. Change is the end result of all true learning. Our ability to adapt is amazing. Our ability to change isn't quite as spectacular. Changing is what people do when they have no options left. To change ourselves effectively, we first had to change our perceptions. Nothing is lost, everything is transformed. The changes we dread most may contain our salvation. If you want to change attitudes, start with a change in behavior. It's not that some people have willpower and some don't. It's that some people are ready to change and others are not. You tried to change, didn't you? Close your mouth more. Try to be softer, prettier, less volatile, less awake. You can't make homes out of human beings. Someone should have already told you that. Don't knock the weather. 9/10 of the people couldn't start a conversation if it didn't change once in a while. Change your thoughts and you change your words. Nothing endures but change. The past can teach us, nurture us, but it cannot sustain us. The essence of life is change, and we must move ever forward, or soul will wither and die. Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough. If you want to make enemies, try to change something. The only difference between a roof and a grave is their dimensions.